Hello everyone, welcome to the Season 12 Abyssal Expedition guide video. The track in the background is called Resonate by Brutall. Huge shout out for letting me use the track for the video. Thanks, appreciate it. Be a link to his SoundCloud down below. Alright, we are in Season 12, and what does that mean? That means it's time to tune collections. Every single team, you're going to have to think about which collections are going to go on who, swapping around what belongs on which hero, which ones are you going to use, did you get the right stats. For this Belinda team, one of the key things is making sure that you have a Captive Wings level 3 to keep Damia alive. After that, it's going to be manipulating haste on all the different heroes, messing with engravings, furniture, signature items, until you find that sweet spot where this becomes a stable team. Now, there's a couple different variations of this Belinda team. The keys are a level 18 Panda, and of course, you're running double maze, so you're going to need to figure out what you want your relics to be and what your relic strategy to be. But this team definitely has the highest potential. Some screenshots I've seen have this going up towards 45, almost 50 billion, which is insane. I definitely can't hit those kinds of numbers, but that's okay. We mere mortals can settle with just the 33 billion. Now, moving on to the next team. This is one that I've been experimenting with, using a couple of different variations of this team with Eugene. Now, the main thing is, by default, this is going to be about, 15 or 16 billion team, but using it during weakness 2, and that's a big one, with using the Solis Special Awaken skill, can potentially get you some pretty high damage. Sometimes you whiff it and it comes in kind of low. Other times it'll come back and give you a huge hit, like 18 billion, 19 billion, 20 billion. I've had all kinds of huge hits come back for that one, and I've also had something like this where it comes back at about 15 billion. So your mileage will vary. For the next team, this is the one using twins, and I personally like to use Awakened Athalia with this team. I subbed in Adrian, which is the creepiest light bearer we've ever had. I had to get him to 40 signature item and E60 in order for him to survive long enough to do anything meaningful. I had to put huge tank collection on Aroko so that she stays alive. And of course, if you get down below 50%, Athalia's damage does increase. This is one that you can sub in Awaken Leica instead of Athalia in case that's not the hero that you have. But then you'd need to sub Athalia in somewhere else on your teams potentially. For the next team, this is the one using the normal Baden. Now, personally, I'm using the version that has Atheist, and I have a 40 sig Atheist, so that's a big boost to the normal attack damage. You could also run a Damon, because Damon does increase the team comps. You're just going to have to experiment and see which of these does better for you. Again, I use a big Captive Wings on Trish on this one, just to keep her alive, and using the Tassie collection on Navanthi will also help you get some good damage in. This next team is an RBSG team. It really feels like just a bunch of stuff that was cluttered together, and that's not too far from the truth. I just kept trying a bunch of different combination of heroes to see when I can get something that can finally put some damage out. Something decent. I was looking for 10 billion, maybe more. Rem definitely has that potential, and we're able to keep the energy going with the Awakened Sophia. Now, in this instance, I had Joan of Arc die. I've tried different heroes other than Joan on the front. I couldn't really get it to work with anyone else, but Joan was great in this one. In addition to you can also sub him out for Damon or Atheist in here as well. Now, finally, bringing up the rear is Zolrath and Awakened Thane. You know, I found different versions of this team that could get more damage and can get more output, but they always took supports or other damage dealing heroes that were better off in a different team. So here we are again with the Zolrath team coming in at a paltry 7 to 8 billion. It just depends on the RNG and how it treats you. And whether or not you're able to get some decent damage in. I used it with Jerome, but again, Jerome can go into your first team and you can replace him with Mortis in here. That's going to do it for us today. Good luck to everyone, and thanks for listening.